is the procedure to become a doctor in US, and do your university offer that kind of courses to help them to become a doctor? Can you explain more on that?
Yes, so the process to become a medical doctor in the United States starts with earning a bachelor's degree in a specific field. So you can earn a bachelor's degree in any field that's considered pre-medicine.
Freddie Cicchetti is the Director of International Admissions at Long Island University, Brooklyn. He specialises in helping international students navigate their academic journey in the US. With a passion for global education, Freddie has guided countless students toward their dreams.
How they can prepare for US student visa interview?
Yeah, I think for preparing for the student visa interview,
With the tentative tuition fee of Long Island University.
yes, so it depends on the program that you are enrolling in, but it can vary from $25,000 to $32,000 per year.
तो आज का पॉडकास्ट आपके लिए एक अमेजिंग होने वाला है, बिकॉज ये पॉडकास्ट के अंदर हमने लॉन्ग आइलैंड यूनिवर्सिटी के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव के साथ बात की है, मिस्टर फ्रेडी, जो लॉन्ग आइलैंड यूनिवर्सिटी के ग्रेजुएट इंटरनेशनल रिक्रूटमेंट डायरेक्टर है, जिन्होंने आज लॉन्ग आइलैंड के लिए ऐसी चीज़ के बारे में बात किया है जो कोई भी बच्चे को पता नहीं था, कोई भी पेरेंट्स को पता नहीं था। फार्मेसी प्रोग्राम अमेजिंग प्रोग्राम है लॉन्ग आइलैंड यूनिवर्सिटी में। सबसे अच्छा रिसर्च वर्क जो हो रहा है और नई टेक्नोलॉजी जो डेवलप कर रही है, उसमें लॉन्ग आइलैंड का बहुत ही ज़्यादा हिस्सा है। तो स्टूडेंट, आप इंडिया में फार्मेसी कर रहे हो या आप फार्मेसी करने के लिए यूएस जाना चाहते हो, तो लॉन्ग आइलैंड यूनिवर्सिटी बेस्ट ऑप्शन है। फार्मेसी नहीं, बहुत सारे अदर कोर्सेज अवेलेबल है, जैसे फिजियोथेरापी रिलेटेड है, कंप्यूटर साइंस, इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी, डेटा एनालिटिक्स, साइकोलॉजी, बिजनेस प्रोग्राम, बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम लॉन्ग आइलैंड यूनिवर्सिटी प्रोवाइड करती है और उनका प्लेसमेंट रेशियो 90% से भी ज़्यादा है। तो आज के पॉडकास्ट के अंदर हमने LIU की सेफ्टी सिक्योरिटी के बारे में बात किया है, रिक्वायरमेंट के बारे में बात किया है, 15 ईयर ऑफ एजुकेशन एक्सेप्टेड होगा कि नहीं होगा उनके लिए बात किया है, जॉब प्लेसमेंट रेशियो क्या है, यूएस में सक्सेसफुल होने के क्राइटेरिया क्या है, वीज़ा इंटरव्यू कैसे आपको कंप्लीट करना है, कैसे प्रिपरेशन करना है, ये सारी इंफॉर्मेशन ये पॉडकास्ट के अंदर हमने कवर की है। तो ये पॉडकास्ट आपको लास्ट तक देखना है। जो भी फ्रेंड यूएस जाना चाहते हैं, इनको ये पॉडकास्ट तुरंत भेज दो, बिकॉज इनसे उनकी लाइफ में एक बड़ा बदलाव आने वाला है। We have amazing guest on our podcast, Long Island University, Freddie, Director of International Recruitment. Today we are going to discuss lots and lots of things about the Long Island University. They have two campuses. First question I have about you is, tell me something about yourself. It's not about the interview questions, but something that our viewers can know about your qualifications, which position you are holding on Long Island University, and what's your day-to-day job, and how you are helping international students.
Yeah, I did my bachelor's degree in New York City. I studied journalism, business journalism. I then started working in international student recruitment. I've worked at numerous universities in New York City for the past 10 years. My day-to-day job is to work with our faculty and our recruitment partners on getting the message out there about Long Island University, what majors we offer, what are the admissions requirements, what are the unique offerings about our particular majors, the research, the concentrations, the outcomes that our students are having. I've been coming to India for many years to work with international students on helping them achieve their goals and studying and potentially working in the US. So I find it really rewarding and excited to be here with you today.
Wow. Maybe you are traveling to lots and lots of countries, right? And maybe you are interacted with the lots of international students. Can you give me a top 3 tips to be successful in USA for international students? Because we have lots of students who are planning for study in US. Like, what are the top 3 tips you can give to students to become successful in US?
Yeah, top 3 tips. I love that. I would say tip number 1 is be an active participant in the college admissions process.
Okay.
Get to know your counselor, the university that's recruiting you, the program specifics. If you can interact with the faculty in any way through a virtual event, I think that's a really high impact move that you can make to start that early success. It's networking. That's my first recommendation. My second tip is, when you get to the university, is take the right baby steps. And what I mean by that is, get your accommodations and your housing situated, be successful inside the classroom, do things that are not applying for jobs, like joining clubs and organizations on the campus. And then I think step 3 is start thinking about your career. Start thinking about networking with professional organizations dedicated to your field. Work with your faculty on preparation for your career. Get prepared for job interviewing and all the other components to career success. So those would be my 3 tips.
Okay, that's amazing tips for all the students who are planning to study in USA. Now, why Long Island University is a top choice for international students? Because we have seen that in Gujarat, specifically, Long Island is very popular. Why it's the first choice for international student?
My favorite thing about Long Island University is it's definitely the location. It's in Brooklyn, New York City, so it's one of the most student-preferred cities in the world. There's so many internships that international students can take advantage of in their second year. We have incredible faculty. I think that's something that really sets us apart. They help students with their career search. They help students with their research. They're really the closest mentor that our students have, and students are getting amazing experiences at LIU. They're telling their peers, and that testimony is amazing to hear. It makes my job easy.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
So I think there's so many reasons, but I think the location and the incredible faculty and the research that they're doing are some of the top reasons.
Okay, and how many campuses do you have?
We have 2 campuses. We have a campus in Brooklyn, New York City, and we have a campus in Long Island.
Okay, and you just talked about the research facility your university is providing. Can you just little bit enlighten us, like what kind of research facility your university is providing? What about the infrastructure, and like how they are working closely with the industries? Because when parents are making decision about the abroad education for their kids, they always look around this topic, and they always think that what research facilities and how the course is aligned with the industry standard.
Absolutely. We have incredible research facilities. Some of them are sponsored by a partnership that we have with Dassault Systems, which is
Okay.
the French Boeing, a
Okay.
Fortune 500 company. They provide a lot of the technology that we have at LIU in artificial intelligence, and we're using that AI in terms of biomedical devices, drug discovery. That's one example. We're one of the first universities in the US with a new technology in pharmacy called Omnicell.
Oh, okay.
Essentially, it's a vending machine for drugs.
Okay.
And what it does is it provides a lot of solutions for supply chain management, that you always have life-saving drugs on demand,
On demand.
and you never have to worry that you're out of a particular drug.
Oh, okay.
So it's brand new technology, and the goal is that our students will graduate and they'll bring that technology into the companies where they work at.
Wow.
So pharmacy companies in and around New York City, and New York City is a hub
Hub
for
for
pharmacy,
pharmacy,
New
yes.
York and New Jersey,
Yes.
and those companies are coming, they're seeing our Omnicell, they're seeing how our students are utilizing that technology. So those are a couple of the technologies that we're excited about.
I think this is the fantastic information for all the students who would like to study Master of Pharmacy, Pharmaceutical Science, and Pharmacology in Long Island University, because they are doing amazing research in this field. And if you want to know about this course and about LIU, comment LIU into chat box, and we will provide you entire detail. I just want to talk to you about diversity. Like, how diverse is the student community at Long Island University?
It's extremely diverse. We have over 1,500 international students from 90 countries. So we're extremely proud of our footprint. We have over 250,000 alumni from all over the world.
250,000 alumni?
Yes, from
Wow.
all over the world. And we have superb alumni that are doing incredible things. I can give you one example. If you've heard of the pharmaceutical company Murad,
Yeah.
Murad is an
Murad.
alumni of Long Island University.
Oh, wow.
He recently made a large donation to Long Island University. So we're working closely with our alumni, and we're very proud of that. Our students are coming from everywhere: South Korea, India, Brazil.
Brazil.
So we really have a great footprint worldwide.
Yeah, that means you have the very dynamic culture and also the very vibrant culture for the student community, right?
Yeah, and you get many different perspectives. I'll
Yeah.
bring up pharmacy again, that the world of pharmacy and drug and regulatory affairs is different than it is in the Middle East, than it is in India, than it is in Vietnam, than it is in the United States. So you get a lot of different perspectives, and that culminates in students having a more worldly view that they can make an impact in pharmacy.
Right. What are the key benefits of studying in university in New York? Like, what are the key benefits of studying at university in New York?
Yeah, there's a few. I think one is that it's an internship hub. Students from all over the United States come to New York City in the summer just to take advantage of our internships. We have 50 Fortune 500 companies in New York City.
Okay.
Another benefit is certainly the location that it's a transportation hub in
Yes.
downtown Brooklyn. You can very seamlessly get to New Jersey, Long Island, Queens, Brooklyn, all of the territories within New York City. So you can live anywhere, you can live with family, and you can access those internships. So you're not just stuck on campus. New York City is your campus.
Yeah, and New York is very live because wherever you go in midnight or in the early morning, it's always walking, right?
Always walking, and it's a lot safer than students might think it is. Our New York City campus is ranked one of the safest campuses in New York City.
Okay.
It's in a gated community, so students can be in a very safe environment within New York City.
Okay, the security is not an issue.
Not an issue at all.
So if like parents, if you are concerning about security at Long Island University, this is what your answer is. It's the safest campus in New York. And in India, like lots of parents hesitate to send their girls, their kids, female, to US because of the safety concern. I think you have already given that answer in the very fantastic way, but I want you to elaborate a little bit more about the safety at Long Island University.
Absolutely. And one thing that we always try and be honest about is that when you're in a major city in North America, you have to keep your head up. You have to be aware you're in a major city, you're taking public transportation, so you have to be traveling smart. But if you are traveling smart, you have a safe campus here at LIU Brooklyn. We have 24/7 security team, a gated campus, so it's not a traditional campus where there's one building on one street, down the street there's another building. It's all within one land. It's 11 acres of a gated community, so it's extremely safe being on campus, and the transportation is also phenomenal. Again, I always tell families that your students need to travel smartly.
Smartly, yes. That's true.
That's important in any North American city, but if they do that, they're going to be extremely safe.
Okay, that's amazing information for all the students and parents who are planning to send their kids to Long Island University. We have covered the safety concern at the Long Island University because it's a major in India. Safety is a topmost priority for us when we are selecting university, also when we are guiding the parents about the university. Now, let's talk about the undergraduate program. Like, how many undergraduate program Long Island University offer?
We have almost 200 programs ranging from computer science to artificial intelligence, nursing. We have a brand new digital engineering program. It's the first digital engineering program in the United States.
Okay.
So we have a lot of exciting programs in health, pharmacy, business, tech, and we have tremendous scholarship programs for our students in those undergraduate programs.
Wow. Okay. Now I would like to ask you a couple of more questions about the undergraduate. In India, currently lots of students are giving 12th examination with the biology. Means physics, chemistry and biology. That's called the PCB in India. And they doesn't have a maths. And if they want to pursue a nursing degree at Long Island University, if they want to pursue kinesiology at your university, bachelor degree, right? Are they qualified? And can you tell me a little bit more about that requirement as well?
Yes. So for those particular programs, it's not always compulsory to have a background in biology or a background in math. What we look for in the application is we look at your core subjects. So from your grade 10 through your grade 12, we are going to look and see how you scored in STEM designated courses for those particular majors.
Okay.
So if you've taken biology, if you've taken chemistry, if you've taken math. So we're looking for those courses that are closely related to the major that you're going to pursue because we want to give you an opportunity to change tracks.
Change the tracks, okay.
But we also want to see that there's enough data to see that you'll be successful in the major that you're going into because we don't want to set up the students for failure, but we also want to give them the opportunity to pursue something potentially different.
Right. That means they are eligible to apply at your university, right? If they doesn't have a maths
Absolutely. We think that students coming from high school can very seamlessly change streams.
Oh,
They're so young,
yes.
there's so much opportunity. They may not have a design background, but they want to go into
Wow,
design.
that's the beauty of US because I think they are investigating application on the holistic approach. Maybe you, if you are interested in music, you can go in music, and if it doesn't matter if your background is from something else, right?
Absolutely. We have music programs that are very infused with technology, actually. Um, I can think of a number of programs that we have. And yes, students do not need to have a music background
Music background.
necessarily.
Yes. I think that's a fantastic information for all the students and parents. Now, for undergraduate, all the parents have a concern about SAT examination and ACT scores. And each and every time when we do counseling, parents are get tense because of the ACT score and the SAT score. Question I have for you: do you accept the ACT or SAT examination, or do you provide the waiver?
We do provide a waiver, so we would consider our university what we call test optional. So you do not need to submit the SAT or the ACT to gain admission. Having said that, if you do submit the SAT or ACT, it can potentially help you.
Help.
You may be
Okay.
able to receive more scholarship by taking the SAT or the ACT.
Okay.
But we have quality scholarships for students who do take SAT or ACT and students who do not.
Okay, now here I want to break it down. I have a two different question because lots of time parents and also lots of you students and parents, you have a issue regarding this scholarship, and it's also myth in the market right now. Let's have a case study number one. If one student in India completed the 12th and applying for Bachelor of Computer Science at Long Island University, and he doesn't give the SAT examination and he scored 85%, is he eligible for the scholarship?
Yes, he would be eligible for a scholarship.
Okay, and I have a case study number 2. If one student already secure 65 percentage and applying for Bachelor of Computer Science at Long Island University and having a SAT score of 1000, it make a difference with the both the profile. That means the student who has 85% will get the more scholarship, or the person who has a SAT will get the more scholarship.
In that particular scenario, I can envision at my university, and I've worked at a number of different universities, the student with the higher GPA without the SAT could and most likely
Most
will
likely, yes.
get a higher scholarship.
Yes. So I think because why I ask your question, because when parents are coming to us, they are forcing their kids to do SAT examination. You have to do SAT examination because you will get the more scholarship. I think academic is more selection criteria. Means powerful academic score will help them to get more scholarship, right?
Absolutely. And strategically, knowing that universities are test optional.
Test
And,
optional.
and some universities are not test blind.
Test blind,
Which
yes.
means that if you submit the SAT scores and they're not very good,
Very good, yeah.
that can be held against the applicant.
Right.
So I think if a student is, for some reason, not scoring well on the SAT or the ACT, but they have a good academic profile,
yes.
they can consider submitting their application without test scores.
Okay. And are you guys open for January intake? September intake?
We are open for September intake.
Students, if you like to apply to undergraduate program at Long Island University, comment LIU into chat box and we will provide you entire detail. Long Island University is open for September 2025 intake, and lots of programs are there. Specifically for health program is very, very popular. I would like to ask you about the which English proficiency tests are accepted for international student.
We accept all the major exams. So we accept IELTS, TOEFL, PTE, Duolingo, and we also accept SAT or ACT as proof of English testing.
Okay. Do you accept the home-based TOEFL examination?
We do.
Okay. I think students, Long Island University accepting all the English language test, Duolingo, IELTS, TOEFL, and PTA. That's a fantastic news. That means if you have given Duolingo, you are eligible for the applications. If you have given PT, you are eligible for the application. Like, what are the common? Okay, now let's talk about the requirement. What will be the minimum requirement for IELTS for undergraduate students?
That would be a 6.0.
6.0. Any individual band?
There is not an individual band requirement.
Okay, how about PTE?
For PTE, it's approximately a 50.
50. Okay. And how about the percentage? Like, what will be the percentage required to get admission to Long Island University, or what will be the minimum percentage student need to get admitted into the Long Island?
It would be approximately a 65%.
65%. Okay. I think students, if you have 65% in your 12th grade, and if you like to apply to Long Island University, please comment Long Island into LIU into chat box, and we will provide you entire detail. And we have a free application waiver as well. If you like to apply, genuinely like to apply to Long Island, we will able to give you a free application waiver. Uh, Now, what are the common mistakes students are mm, what are the common mistakes students are doing while they are applying to undergraduate program at your university?
I think the biggest mistake is students are submitting incomplete applications. So they're piecemealing the application. They have one document ready, for example, their academics, but they do not have their English testing ready.
Okay.
And I don't recommend submitting an application with just the academics. I
Okay.
recommend gathering all the documents that are part of the requirements, having them ready, and then when you apply, you can submit all the documents with the completed application.
Wow. And how much time it will take to evaluate the profile and release the admission decision? What is the turnaround time?
It can take somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks.
2 to 4 weeks. Students, you need to be patient, you need to have a faith, because after submitting application with all the documents, it will take 2 weeks to 4 weeks, because lots of students are coming to us, and after submitting the application they will ask like, why I haven't received the admissions, my one friend got the admission, why I am waiting for it. I think student need to wait for at least 4 weeks for the admission decision, right?
Absolutely. At almost any credible U.S. university, there's a turnaround time. These universities are receiving thousands of applications, and they want to do their due diligence to see that you're the right fit for the program. So it's part of that growing process,
process,
I
yeah.
think, of just understanding that it's not Amazon.
Amazon, yes.
It takes some
It
time.
takes some time, yeah.
And that's why start the process early,
Proposal,
so
yes.
that you can get all of your admissions offers in a timely fashion and make your decision accordingly.
Student and parents, you must need to listen this. I have a question regarding the scholarship, because undergraduate is a very costly and very, like, parents need to invest a lot in undergraduate degree, right, when they are sending their kids. What about the scholarship? Like, what kind of scholarship you are offering, what is the criteria of scholarship, and how much scholarship you can give to international students?
This is such a great question, and I like to talk about this because there's different discount models, as we call it,
Yes, discount model,
at
yeah.
U.S. universities, where there might be a school that is $80,000 per year, and they're providing you with a $50,000 scholarship.
Scholarship, yes.
So your cost would then be $30,000.
$30,000, yes.
But then there's also a university like Long Island University, which is one of the more affordable private U.S. universities, where our tuition is $42,000, and we offer scholarships up to $32,000.
Up to $32,000.
Correct.
And if we convert into the India, it will be like 40 lakh rupees per year, 40 lakh Indian rupees per year. It's a 32,000, up to 32,000 per year, or
Up to $32,000 per year in scholarship.
wow, that means you are eligible to get 40 lakh scholarship in Long Island University. This is a fantastic opportunity for all the students who would like to pursue their bachelor degree at Long Island University. Now, I want to ask you, how student can get 32,000 scholarship? What are the requirements?
For a $32,000 scholarship, which would be our presidential scholarship, you will need to take the SAT or the ACT. For the ACT, you would need to score approximately 1,400. Off the top of my head, I don't know the equivalency for
No, that's
ACT.
fine. Yes.
But if you are a test optional applicant, you can receive up to 20,000 per year in scholarship.
20,000 per year scholarship. That means actual tuition fee is 42,000 US dollar. 20,000 scholarship flat. They will get each and every year. Is it renewable, or it's just a 1 year scholarship?
It's renewable. It's valid for all 4 years.
All 4 years. So okay. Now that means like student need to pay 22,000 US dollar per year, right?
That's correct.
Wow. So that means if you haven't given SAT examination or ACT examination, you are still qualifying for the scholarship up to 20,000 US dollar. If we can convert it to the Indian rupees, it will be like 15 lakh to 20 lakh rupees. I think this is a golden opportunity for all the students who would like to pursue their dream in USA, and specifically in New York, because Long Island is giving a 20,000 plus dollar scholarship for most of the students who are qualifying. And if you want to know more about the Long Island University, comment Long Island into chat box and we will provide you entire detail. Now, can you tell me what are your top 3 courses for undergraduate in Long Island University?
Yes, the top three majors will be computer science, business administration, and nursing.
They still want to come to office, want to talk to you, and want to make sure everything is going fine or not.
Right. Yeah, we something that keeps us up at night is we're jealous of the agents.
Okay.
That we want to talk and
Talk,
interact more with the students.
yes.
And we feel in some cases, because we're actually working at the university and living there every day, that we can speak, and our faculty too. But the faculty have to put trust in the admissions team, and the admissions team has to put trust and training into the agency infrastructure, because we need boots on the ground in the country to have the nuanced conversations with the students.
Yes. Can you explain the step-by-step procedure to apply to the Long Island University?
Yeah, step-by-step procedure to apply for Long Island University. You'll submit an online application. It's a free application to apply. You'll submit all of your documents. So you'll submit if you're applying for as a high school student, you'll submit your class 10 through class 12 mark sheets.
Okay.
You'll submit a copy of your English proficiency testing score, whether you take IELTS, TOEFL, PTE, Duolingo, SAT, or ACT. We do recommend that students submit 2 letters of recommendation, and then we recommend students submit an essay or a personal statement.
Personal statement. Okay.
And for graduate degree students, it's a very similar process. The GRE is not required.
Not required, yes.
One item that we do see that students occasionally miss
yes.
will be their individual mark sheets.
Mark sheet, yes.
So we definitely recommend that you submit your individualized
Individual
mark
mark sheet,
sheets.
yes.
And if you do have work experience, please submit a resume. And if you have a gap, we encourage you to submit a gap
Submit the
statement.
gap statement as well. Okay. Means like in India, we have encountered that after completing the 12th degree, after completing the 12th grade, students are taking 1 year gap, and then they are thinking to apply to US university. Now, do you accept the gap, or like what are the things you are considering for those kind of students who has a gap, 1 year gap in their application?
We think that students that have a gap of 1 year or 2 years is appropriate.
Okay.
That students are taking the time to make decisions, potentially intern, volunteer, work. So if you do have work experience, we recommend that you do submit a resume.
Okay.
If you have a gap where you were not doing a lot in terms of work or education, we would recommend it's a good idea, it's a best practice to submit a gap statement.
Great.
Stating what you were doing, that you were starting your college application process, you were taking care of a parent, you had other responsibilities.
Yes, that's true.
So we recommend that it's a good idea to submit a gap statement.
Okay, the gap statement required. Okay, the student, if you have a gap in your 12th, I request you to please submit the gap certifications, which will help you to faster your process for the admissions, and they are considering the gap as well. But it must be a legitimate gap you have in your education. Now, I would like to ask you, what are the top 3 courses at your university, specifically in the health sector?
Postgraduate or
In
undergraduate?
the undergraduate. We are talking about undergraduate right now.
Undergraduate. So the top 3 programs for undergraduate degree are in health professions.
Yes, in health profession.
Are nursing, biology, and doctorate of pharmacy.
Doctorate of pharmacy.
Doctorate of pharmacy. So it's a professional degree program. It's a 6-year program. You start the program directly after completing high school. It's 2 years pre-professional and then 4 years professional.
Okay. And after completing the doctorate of pharmacy, are they eligible for the license examination?
They are. They are eligible to sit for the pharmacy license, and they can be a licensed pharmacist in New York.
Are you? Is it a real information?
Real information. In fact, you could do a PharmD program in India,
Yeah.
or you could do a PharmD program in the United States. It's a rather long program, being that it's 6 years.
6 years. Right.
But it's for the right student who knows they want to be a licensed pharmacist. It's a great investment. They have a strong starting salary in New York of over $125,000
Wow.
per year. We have the oldest pharmacy school in New York City.
Wow.
So we think that this is a attractive program. And what I would tell young people, students who are thinking about a career in pharmacy, it's not a career where you're going to be behind a counter
Behind the counters, yes.
handing out medication. There's so much new technology
Yes.
and innovations in the world of pharmacy. Even I now, just knowing more about pharmacy,
Pharmacy
get
is
excited
getting
when I see
excited, yes.
pharmacy technology or even walk into a pharmacy. So I think students should explore more what are the new innovations in
Wow.
pharmacy, because it's a fascinating field and a very lucrative one too.
वाह, तो जिन भी बच्चों ने इंडिया में 12th पीसीबी किया है और उनको यूएस में जाके फार्मेसी करना है, तो ये उनके लिए गोल्डन अपॉर्चुनिटी है. LIU is the best option for Bachelor of Pharmacy and Doctorate of Pharmacy. उनके बाद स्टार्टिंग सैलरी होने वाली है $1,25,000. दैट मीन्स इज द स्टार्टिंग सैलरी. तो जिन भी बच्चों को फार्मेसी करना है तो LIU is the best option. If you want to know more about LIU course requirement, comment LIU into chat box and we will provide you entire detail. I would like to ask you about the Bachelor of Kinesiology and Exercise Science program. Do you offer that program?
We do, yes.
And I think it's leading to the physiotherapy, registered physiotherapy, right?
It can lead to a physical therapy degree. If you do the bachelor's in exercise science at LIU, you can then progress to apply for a DPT, Doctorate in
Doctorate
Physical
of Physiotherapy, okay.
Correct, and you could become a licensed physical therapist.
Physical therapist. Okay, we will talk. We will come back again with the DPT because there is a new rules is already there, and we will talk about it in the graduate program. I would like to ask you more about the undergraduate program. Like, do you guys have any placement ratio? Like, how many students got placed into the university? Do you have any idea like how many students got into the top companies, multinational companies, and what's the average salary they are getting?
Yes, so 90% of our students get a job within 6 months of graduation or continue their education.
Wow.
Additionally, we're in the top 50 universities in New York for salary potential.
Okay.
So we have great outcomes. We do multiple career fairs each year so students can interact with companies, prospective employers, and ask questions, get to know the recruiter, who they're hiring, when is the best time to apply. So we work really hard at putting students in a great position
Wow.
to be successful after graduation.
Wow.
And students are at top companies. They're
Interesting.
at multinational companies.
Yes.
We say that there's an LIU alumni at every major pharmaceutical company in
Wow.
New York City and New Jersey. And it goes beyond that in financial tech, in physical therapy. So we have a great footprint for tech and for health
And the
professions.
professional. Wow, there's a fantastic opportunity for students who would like to pursue their dream in USA because LIU giving lots and lots of opportunities, specifically in the health sector because they are known for the health, specifically in the pharmacy and the physiotherapy. I know about it, right? Now, regarding the undergraduate, I have listened and I have heard that if you do undergraduate in US university, you need to stay on campus. And it's a mandatory for international student to stay on campus first year. They can't leave out. They can't leave off campus. Is it true or is it mandatory at your university?
It's not mandatory at LIU to live on campus. So you can live on or off campus. It's totally up to the student. But there are US universities that they do require
Yes,
students live on
yes.
campus maybe in their first year.
In the first year, yes.
So there are varying policies at different universities, but for LIU, it's an optional requirement.
Okay, and can you tell me about what will be the tentative housing cost at the New York and like what will be the monthly expense student need to spend if they are joining your university?
Yes, so we estimate that if you're we make our estimations that you're going to live on campus as an example of the funds that you will need to account for your living expenses. So for living on campus for 12 months, having a food plan, paying for transportation, paying for personal expenses, we budget that to be about $20,000 US.
$20,000 per year.
Per year, correct.
Okay, yeah. And if the student is living off campus, it's depend upon the students, right?
Yeah, it depends on their lifestyle,
Lifestyle.
where they're living, if they're
Yes.
willing to commute longer or
Longer,
shorter.
shorter, yes.
We actually have very affordable on-campus
On-campus
housing, so
also.
it's a good option, especially in your first year when you're getting acclimated to New York. So it's an option for you. You can live right on campus, but you can live more affordably in other parts of New York. New Jersey, which is not New York, but right near the
to
Brooklyn
Brooklyn
campus.
campus.
You can live in Brooklyn, Queens, Long Island. So you have possibilities to live anywhere in what we call Greater New
Greater
York.
New York. Okay. What do you recommend to live on campus or off campus? What's your personal choice?
I think for an undergraduate student, if you do not have friends or family in New York, I recommend starting on campus.
Okay.
And if you ask other students, they have such a good on-campus experience. LIU has great residential life, extremely safe, very welcoming and inclusive. They do so many different networking events for you to socialize and make friends. And making friends on campus is extremely important. It, it, sh- it, making friends on campus gives you a community. And
Yes.
you're much more likely to stay at that university if you have friends. So I think having that first year experience of being on campus or even first semester, really important. For graduate students with a little bit more experience,
experience.
you can really go either
Go
way. You
either
can
way,
live
yes,
on campus, but if
yes.
you feel like you're a traveler, that you have experience living on your own potentially, you can also live off campus.
Oh wow, that's a great piece of advice. Now we will talk about the 12th commerce students. If in India कोई भी बच्चों ने इंडिया में 12th कॉमर्स किया है और उनको यूएसए जाना है, 40 लाख से भी ज़्यादा की स्कॉलरशिप चाहिए और करोड़ रुपए की सैलरी चाहिए, तो लॉन्ग आइलैंड एक बेस्ट ऑप्शन होगा आपके लिए. आपको लॉन्ग आइलैंड के लिए ज़्यादा इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए, कमेंट में लॉन्ग आइलैंड डाल दीजिए, दैट मीन्स LIU डाल दीजिए, हम आपको सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन भेज देंगे. Like what are the STEM program you are providing for the commerce students in the specifically in the business
For postgraduate study,
for bachelor?
for bachelor study. So we at the bachelor's level we have data analytics. That's a bachelor's of science. That would be a STEM designated program for students who are interested in a business field. It's a fusion of coding language,
Yes.
especially in financial tech,
Financial tech, okay.
and then also that business type coursework.
Right,
So it's a good
right.
fusion between business and technology.
Technology, yeah. And only one program, or you have a many program in the business which are STEM?
At the undergraduate level,
Undergraduate.
this would be the program that's STEM designated.
Okay,
The
okay.
the sole program.
The solo program you have. Okay. Now, what other course student can take? The commerce background student can take at your university if they want to pursue a bachelor of computer science. Is it possible? Because they are coming from the commerce background.
They certainly can. We think that students, especially at the high school level, are well suited for a lot of different programs. And we feel that we have a holistic admissions process that we can evaluate and predict that they will be successful in technical programs like artificial intelligence, computer science, also digital engineering. So those are just a few programs that we offer that are STEM designated technical fields that students from a multitude of different high school curriculums can pursue.
Right. Also, this is we are talking about the undergraduate right now.
Yes.
In India, lots of students have a dream. Excuse me. Lots of students have a dream to become a doctor, and they want to do medicine. Now in India, we have a limited seats, like only 90,000 seats we have for the medical students, and 1.5 lakh students are appearing for the examination. Now, if they would like to pursue a medicine at US, like what is the procedure to become a doctor in US, and do your university offer that kind of courses to help them to become a doctor? Can you explain more on that?
Yes. So the process to become a medical doctor in the United States starts with earning a bachelor's degree in a specific field. So you can earn a bachelor's degree in any field that's considered pre-medicine.
Pre-medicine, okay.
So a pre-medicine field would be majoring in biology,
Okay.
majoring in biotechnology, majoring in chemistry, biomedical engineering. So all of those programs will have a core pre-medicine set of classes,
okay.
that allows them to go into medical school. So once you complete that bachelor's degree, at that point you can apply for medical school, which would
Okay.
be 4 additional years.
Okay.
You can apply for an MD and earn a medical doctorate degree. You can also apply for a DO, Doctorate of Osteopathy Medicine.
Okay.
So there's a couple different avenues that you can go for to become a licensed physician.
And how about the MCAT? Like what do international students need to give a MCAT for medical admissions?
Yes, at the vast majority, if not all medical schools, you will need to take the MCAT exam after you complete the bachelor's degree
Okay.
program. To gain admission into the medical schools, you'll need to take the MCAT.
MCAT examination. Okay. That means if you become a doctor, if you would like to become a doctor in USA, first you need to complete the Bachelor of Pre-Medicine courses. In pre-medicine, it's a biology, biotechnology, biomedical engineering, also kinesiology, exercise science. I think all the health program, all program are qualifying under the pre-medicine program. After completing 4 year, you need to give MCAT, and then after you can apply for master of doctorate degree at a different university. And I think after 4 years they have to do a residency as well, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, so that means 2 more year of residency. That means total 10 to 11 years you need to spend on your education to become a doctor in USA, and it costs a lot to students and parents. If you are planning to study in USA doctorate degree, make sure you have to spend 10 years and maybe a lots and lots of money. It's a amazing options, but think and choose wisely. And this is the clear path is explained by Long Island University International Recruitment Advisor or Director. Now, uh, let's talk about the post graduation program, because India is a very popular about the postgrad program. Uh, can you tell me like how many courses you are providing at your university for postgrad?
We have about 100 programs at the postgraduate level.
And what are the top three popular programs at Long Island University?
Top three popular programs are exercise science, pharmacy, and within pharmacy, so I will cheat a little bit here. We have multiple pharmacy majors
Major,
in the
yes.
pharmacy college: drug and regulatory affairs, pharmaceutics with concentrations in industrial pharmacy as well as cosmetic pharmacy. We also have pharmacology and toxicology. And with the third most popular program, I will say MPH Public Health.
Okay, now how MPH is a STEM program or non-STEM program at LIU?
MPH Public Health is a STEM program at LIU.
Wow, that's amazing information, students. If you have done Bachelor of Doctorate, that means the MBBS in India, Bachelor of Dental Surgery in India, Bachelor of Physiotherapy in India, you can apply to Long Island University STEM designated program, which is a Master of Public Health. If you want to know about this course, comment LIU into chat box and we will provide you entire detail. Now, I would like to ask you about the requirement. Like, what are the requirements for getting admission into the Master of Exercise Science at Long Island University?
Exercise science, one of my favorite programs. I think the students are incredible. Many of them have a bachelor's of physiotherapy,
Physiotherapy, yes.
although it's not compulsory. Almost 95% of students have that bachelor's of physiotherapy. If you do not, we're looking for students that have a STEM designated bachelor's degree in some capacity. We're looking for students that have the equivalent of a 65 percentage in their bachelor's of physiotherapy. We're looking for students that have a 6.5 on the IELTS, 2 letters of recommendation, a personal statement as to why you're interested in going into exercise science or physical therapy, and that's a completed application. There is no testing requirement such as GRE or GMAT. It's optional.
It's optional, right? Okay. Now, currently, there is a huge, there is a one, I think, whether it is correct information or the misleading information. I want to ask you about the registered physiotherapist examination at the New York. Recently, we have seen that there is some rules. There is a new guideline recently came out from the New York that a student need certain degree to sit for registered examinations. Can you enlighten on that? Because we have a lots and lots of students in Gujarat are wondering about this new rules and regulation, and they don't have any idea.
Right.
तो इंडिया गुजरात के अंदर जो भी लोग बैचलर ऑफ फिजियोथेरापी करके यूएस में जाके रजिस्टर्ड फिजियोथेरापी की एग्ज़ाम देने के बारे में सोच रहे हैं, उनके लिए ये कंटेंट है, लास्ट तक देखना है, बिकॉज इसके अंदर आने वाले सालों में जो नए रूल्स रेगुलेशन फिजियोथेरापी के अंदर आने वाले हैं उनके ऊपर हम बात करने वाले हैं, और वो जेन्युइन है और उसकी प्रिपरेशन कैसे करते हैं, वी विल टॉक अबाउट इट. तो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द न्यू रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन.
Yes. So the new rule to become a licensed physical therapist
Yes.
in New York is you need the equivalent of a doctoral degree.
Okay.
And the students who are joining LIU from India typically have a bachelor's of physiotherapy and an MS in exercise science from LIU.
Yes.
So they have two different degree programs. So with this new policy change, LIU is requesting more information from the New York State Department of Education and the Board of International Physical Therapists. So we're submitting documentation and paperwork to them so that they can provide an analysis of our students and their ability to sit for national physical therapy exams. So with that, we're still gathering information on how this change will impact students' ability to sit for NPTE. So we're still seeking clarification. And LIU leadership team from our Department of Physical Therapy to our Department of Exercise Science are working collaboratively to get that information so we can provide that feedback to students. We're also looking at the possibility of students taking the National Physical Therapy exam and getting licensed in other states outside of New York, like California, Massachusetts, Washington, D.C. So we're still looking for more clarity as to where our students can get certified as licensed physical therapists and can they still get certified in New York. So we don't have all the answers yet, but we have a task force of people, physical therapists and exercise science faculty that are working together to get that clarity and provide it to our students so they're knowledgeable about their options when they get to New York.
Wow, that's a great piece of information, and it's the latest information about the physiotherapy license examination. Now, I have a question. If any students would like to pursue their exercise science at Texas, maybe in any Texas university, what will be the criteria for license examination? Means, do they eligible for the license examinations, and what is the procedure to qualify for the license examination? Because everyone is talking about New York, I would like to understand. US have a 49 other state,
Right.
and how they can explore the other state, and how they can get certified physiotherapists and work in that particular state, and what's the rules and regulation.
Right. So this is something it's very interesting that students, international students in physical therapy, pharmacy, nursing, they're completing degree programs in the US like LIU,
Yes.
and then they're getting licensed in nursing, dentistry,
yes.
medical,
Yes.
a number of different areas. We're
Yes.
talking about physical therapy right now. So my recommendation is that be active in this process and do your due diligence to find out which states you can be licensed in.
Okay.
And what we're doing at LIU is we want to be at the forefront of this, and we want to provide more guidance to you on your options as far as where you can get licensed.
Okay.
So we're now working through this task force to find out where our students can and cannot be licensed. So
okay.
we can provide that feedback to you so you have more clarity on your
Right.
career
Yes.
prospects.
So keep watching this podcast, because maybe in the couple of months we will share the amazing news about how you can become a physiotherapy doctor or register physiotherapy in USA. Maybe we will do another podcast when we have a new news about this rules
Yes.
and regulation, for sure.
Absolutely.
All are excited for this news. Let's talk about requirement, English language requirement for grad program. It's the same or it's a different?
It's a little bit higher for graduate, so it's the equivalent of a 6.5 on the IELTS. However, some of our technical programs and our pharmacy programs have a slightly lower English proficiency testing requirement.
Okay, okay. And how about the scholarship? How does LIU provide the scholarship for the graduate program?
We do. We have graduate scholarships through our strategic partnership with Study Group, and we're able to provide a scholarship of up to $6,000 in the student's first year.
Okay, $6,000. $6,000 per year.
Not per year, $6,000 one time in the student's first year.
Okay.
So it's broken up over the course of the year. So if you're receiving a $6,000 scholarship, you'll receive $3,000 in your first semester and $3,000 in your
in the
second semester.
Okay, that's a great,
Yes.
great information. And can you tell me the tentative tuition fee of Long Island University?
Yes, so it depends on the program that you are enrolling in, but it can vary from $25,000 per year to $32,000 per year.
Okay, and how, like lots of people from India are going for Master of Exercise Science and Kinesiology at your university. What will be the tentative tuition fee for them?
For exercise science, it's approximately a little bit less than 28,000 per year.
Okay, and I think all are eligible for the scholarship, right?
Many are eligible for the scholarship. When you are accepted, you can contact our study group team here in India, and you can inquire about the scholarship application process, and you'll get a relatively quick turnaround time on your scholarship.
Wow. And okay, now here is the misconception, and the student and parents always wondering like when you issue a offer letter, scholarship will come along with it, or we have to apply separately to the study group, or we have to inform study group to issue a scholarship.
It depends university to university. For the undergraduate level,
Yeah,
the scholarship will be provided in the offer letter.
in the offer letter.
At the
Okay.
graduate level, you will receive your offer letter without scholarship, and then you can inquire about the scholarship application process.
Right. And how much time it will take to release the scholarship for the grad program?
It can take probably 2 to 4 weeks, depending, but I would say much closer to 2 weeks.
2 weeks, right? And how about the enrollment deposit? Because we know that you have the enrollment deposit, which is like $500, and or most of the time, student and parents have a question that if the student visa got rejected, it's refundable or not.
The deposit is considered non-refundable, but if the student is refused on their student visa, they can submit that paperwork of their visa refusal, and the deposit will be refunded.
Wow. The student, if your student visa got rejected, and if your student visa got rejected, you need to submit all the rejected document to study group, and then after you can definitely get the $500 refund, because we have seen we in the past lots of students are coming to us and they are complaining about that we are not getting refund. I think this is the true and authentic information we are getting from Freddie. He is a graduate international director, recruitment director at the Long Island University. If you have any question regarding the Long Island University, comment LIU into chat box, and we will provide you entire detail. Also, if you want to talk to Freddie about Long Island University and further program, we will reach. You can reach out to us, and maybe we will set up a meeting with Freddie, and we will solve your doubt about the Long Island University undergrad as well as the grad program, scholarship, and many more things. Now it's all about visa. In your life, you maybe work with lots of international institute, maybe you work with lots of university in USA, you work with lots of students. What are the common three mistakes students are making? What are the common three mistakes students are doing while they are preparing for the US student visa interview?
I think it's a long-term mistake, not a split-second mistake that the
Okay.
student is making, but a long-term mistake in not being proactive in the
Okay.
admissions process. So if the main people in your admissions process is your counselor at your agency and your parent, you're not active enough
Active
in
in
that
the
process. So it's
process.
really important that you take that responsibility of getting the financial documents together for your I-20, getting your application documents together for your admissions decision, because you're so much more informed having gone through all of your paperwork and what components have been involved in that process, that if you have any questions from a visa officer, you can naturally speak to it,
Speak to
because
it, yes.
you've put in all the work to get you there. You have put in all the work academically to be successful in your program, but that application and admissions portion, be active in that process. I think that's one mistake that students make.
Okay. Also, how can students prepare for visa interview to improve their chances of approval?
I think the visa interview is very similar to, not similar, but it has a same preparation as a job interview. That you don't know the questions that are going to be answered, but you have an idea of some of the main questions that could be answered. So practicing those questions and it's like a muscle. It's like
Muscles.
working out.
Yes, working out. Yeah.
So if you have some practice in answering questions, you can answer questions naturally on your visa interview date. So you don't want to over prepare,
Okay.
but you certainly want to prepare
Prepare.
and have some on top of mind answers for the officer.
Okay, and if you can share some of your experience, very successful visa interview experience you have in your life. Maybe one student cracked the visa interview, and what's his feedback? If you can share a couple of feedbacks or for our viewers, like if a visa interview is asking them a question, why Long Island University? What will be the ideal answer?
it the answer to those questions we think is whatever resonates with you.
Okay.
And what we mean by that is that through your process of deciding to study a particular program at a particular university, something resonated with you that got you excited, whether it's the research, the curriculum, the location, that you received a great testimony from a friend, a classmate. So all of those things in tandem are going to come together and culminate a scholarship that you're
Scholarship you're
receiving.
receiving,
So,
yes.
there's multiple things, and I think you need to articulate that in a short amount of time to a visa officer of why you picked that university. And Long Island University has accepted student days every month, so you can come to those events, you can meet with current students, you can
Wow.
meet with faculty, and we have an idea of what's going to resonate with you, but we don't know what you're exactly looking for. Every
Exactly.
individual student is different, so we hope that those accepted student days, something resonates with you, and you'll be able to use that information
Information.
in your visa interview.
Right. Why is engaging in campus? Why is engaging in campus activity important for fulfilling the university experience? Like, why student need to uh, be actively participate on campus activity?
It's so important. You learn how to network. You can join a club or organization where you manage a budget. You manage money. You learn to work collaboratively with other students. So you gain great experiences. You network. Those are what we would consider baby steps in your career. And we don't mean to trivialize it, calling it baby steps, but they're really important, high impact activities in joining clubs and organizations, taking on a leadership role. And we think that those things that you do will pay dividends, and you'll have more career success by engaging in those campus life activities.
Wow, that means like engaging with on campus activity, participate in the club, participate in the on campus organization will definitely boost the confidence.
Absolutely. It'll boost your confidence.
Yeah.
It will make you more confident in your approach and your leadership abilities. And we have over 200 student clubs and organizations at Long Island University. I can tell a quick story about a student who's from India. She's majoring in cosmetic pharmacy.
Oh yeah,
When she
cosmetic
got to
pharmacy.
LIU, her thinking was, I need a job right away on campus. And a lot of students think that
Yes,
they
think
want to
like
be
that.
successful, they want to start earning money. But again, taking those baby steps, she joined one of our largest international student clubs. It's called Sagnam. It's for Indian students,
Okay,
cultural events.
cultural
They
events.
do
Yes,
events like Holi
Holy
Festival,
festival, Diwali
Diwali.
festival.
Yeah, so I've been
Yes,
to some of those events, and they're a lot of work to run the
yes,
events of these
yes.
from this club, because there's so many students, and they put on amazing events. And she became, because she's very smart and
Smart.
she's great at networking, she
Networking.
became the president of that organization.
Wow.
And it's a lot of work.
Lot of
You
work.
would think she would be getting paid, but
Yes,
she's not.
not
And it didn't translate to an, actually she is working an on-campus
on
job, because I
campus job.
spoke with her recently. But
Okay.
as soon as she was eligible to intern on her student visa, she got an internship at one of the largest cosmetic pharmacy manufacturing companies. It's in New Jersey. She had to commute a long way to get that job. She had to interview for that job. She had multiple job offers. And
Wow.
I think it's because she's really developed at Long Island University.
Wow. So that means you are providing that kind of ecosystem. Okay. Now here's the question. How your university is helping student for preparing for resume and interview, and how how your university helping student to find a jobs.
Yes, so we do have career fairs. So we have career fairs for the whole university where anyone can attend. We have career fairs for our business school, for our pharmacy school. So there's more specific career fairs. We have an alumni event where you can meet with alumni and just have conversations with them, like a speed dating
Speed
with
dating.
alumni. So you can hear feedback on your resume. They can talk to you about the industry. So knowing what's going on in the industry, the latest and best practices, those are important conversations. Additionally, we have etiquette and professional development workshops.
Okay.
We have resume workshops. We do photo shoots for your LinkedIn profile.
LinkedIn profile headshots, yes.
We have our own job board, which is called Handshake. So it's like LinkedIn for
LinkedIn,
students, and companies can post unique offerings for LIU students specifically. LIU has a great brand in pharmacy, exercise science, artificial intelligence. So recruiters who are looking to hire entry-level people, they're looking at Long Island University, they're posting the jobs with us and other good schools in New York. So you have exclusive opportunities to apply for those jobs.
Wow. And what are the common three mistakes students are making during their graduate study or during the study at the US university? What are the top three mistakes students are making? Because sometimes we have seen students are not getting good grades. Maybe after joining the university, they are diverting to some other activities and they are focusing on something else. What are the things they need to consider? Because our podcast is watched by lots of parents, so I want to educate parents that you how you can take care of your kids when they are studying over there.
I think the first one would be students who are coming from another country are hearing different accents and getting
Yes.
acclimated to the classroom. So we have a writing center on campus. So if you are having any difficulty hearing your professor or writing or presenting, you can work with our writing center on developing
Developing those
those
skills.
skills in
Okay.
around writing and
Okay.
speaking. So we have that resource. Other common mistakes or issues that students run into are balancing life
Balancing life
and balancing
and
school.
Yes.
It's a new experience that you're joining
Yes.
in New York, that as a student, you're responsible for your cooking, your cleaning, your laundry. So doing that with your coursework, it's a lot of work. Again, doing those baby steps as well. Not doing those baby steps is you need a network, you need a support system, not just your faculty, not just the LIU staff. You need friends who are going to become lifelong university friends. I have lifelong university friends. I'm sure you do too.
Yes.
So making sure that you find that network of people who are going to care about you, that's important as well.
Wow. Okay. Now, lots of students have a concern and also have a question about the GTA and GRA. What is the difference between graduate teaching assistantship and graduate research assistantship?
Yeah, it's a great question. A graduate assistantship in general, it gives you the ability to work for an academic department or a non-academic department, and instead of paying you an hourly wage, they're going to pay for one of your classes.
Okay.
So, which is a substantial amount. It's similar to a scholarship.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
one of your classes is going to be paid for. So you have a teaching assistant opportunity where you're going to be assisting with grading papers or teaching in some kind of a capacity. There's also then research assistant. Research assistant, you might work under a PhD student and assist that PhD student with their research. So we have both of those opportunities where you can do a teaching assistantship or you can do a research assistantship.
Wow, thank you so much for this amazing information, because I think it's going to clear the doubt of lots of students and parents. What is the difference between graduate teaching assistantship and graduate research assistantship? I have another question. Do you accept the 15 year of education?
We do. We do accept 15 years of education for most of our programs, if not all of our master's degree programs. We do pay special attention to the accreditation of your 3-year degree. We also look at of course, your academic standing.
Yes.
But we have a great evaluation team at LIU. So in most cases, you do not need an evaluation either
Evaluation.
if you
Wow.
have 15 years of education.
Oh wow, that's a great information. Now, इंडिया में जिन भी बच्चों ने बीबीए किया है, बीकॉम किया है और उनको 10 या 15 हज़ार की सैलरी भी नहीं मिल रही है, उनको यूएसए जाना है, तो ये बात आपको ज़रूरी समझनी है. Like if any students has done BBA, BCom in India, it's a 15 year of education and in the business and commerce field, which program they can pursue at Long Island University, and what will be the return on investment after completing the degree?
Yes, so we're seeing that those students are pursuing degrees in, if they're looking at a business-oriented degree, they can pursue MBA or data analytics. We talked a little bit about data analytics.
Yes.
Data analytics is that fusion of technology degree, learning a coding language like Python, and then also having the business acumen. So
Right.
it's great for financial tech. If they're interested in something more technical, we have artificial intelligence, computer science, and management engineering. All at the master's level. All of those programs are welcome to 15 years of education.
Okay, and do you and does your university have a MBA, STEM MBA program?
We do. Our MBA program is STEM at both of our campuses, Brooklyn and Long Island, and we have a number of concentrations that are all STEM as well. We have management information systems, finance, international business, and a few other specializations.
Okay, and does your university accept 15 years of education for MBA as well?
We do. For MBA, 15 years of education is acceptable.
Okay, what will be? Can you give me a tentative return on investment on MBA degree? Like because in this degree, and right after graduation, what will be my basic salary, and how I can revert this? How I can get back this tuition fee? How I can recover this tuition fee? Maybe 1 year or maybe 2 year, maybe 3 year.
Yeah, it's a great question. In some respects, the MBA program, MBA in college admissions is always an interesting topic.
Yes.
Because it's a long-standing degree program. We think that students having a technical ability in that program is going to be very important, and having good experiences. For example, in the MBA program, we have student-run businesses, so you can be a part of our investment fund, and you can actually invest real money in the stock market with Long Island University Investment Fund. We also have a consulting company where we consult real businesses around the world, in Brazil, in New York, and other places. So you get those real experiences and those networking opportunities. Again, we also have a career fair dedicated for our business students. 90% of LIU students get a job or continue their education within 6 months.
Okay, that means like what will be the minimum salary any MBA students will get in USA?
We would project students coming from the MBA program for starting salaries of somewhere between $75,000 and $95,000 per year.
Wow. Okay. Now the last question I have, as you are working with lots of industries, maybe you are talking to lots of human resource department or maybe hiring department with the multinational company. Currently, what top three qualities they are looking into candidate when they are hiring for any job or any employment opportunity?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think that they're looking for students that have technical abilities, and we think we equip students with that, with all the technology that we have in the business school, through the student-run businesses, through the data analytics tracks that we have. They have a lot of ability to show that they can add real value to organizations as a young entry-level employee. They're also looking for students who are developed professionally, and we do a lot of different workshops dedicated to doing just that. And then they also look for all the soft skills that students that are going to have, that they can work together in teams, they have strong resumes, strong references. So all of those things in tandem are some of the things that we find that companies are looking for.
Wow, I think that's a great piece of advice. So if you are planning to study in US and if you are planning to do a full-time job, few things you need to take care, which is already mentioned by Freddie, that you need a good technical knowledge, maybe soft skill. You must be a team, like a team. You need to work in team. Maybe you have a good reference, and also you have to build your profile, and everything is done by Long Island University and Career Service, because they are helping you to get the job. They are uplifting you to build the resume, LinkedIn profile, and they also have a dedicated job portal for application where you can go and apply to the different companies, right?
Absolutely. The faculty are so invested in our students. You would think they almost take your life into their hands, in the sense that
Wow.
they want to see you successful. They feel like they were successful because you're successful. So you'll meet with your faculty advisor, and they'll talk to you about what companies are hiring our students. Let's look at your resume. What many faculty have job offers in their inbox. They have people in their network that are reaching out and saying, "Hey, you work at a university. Do you have students that would be interested in applying for this role?" So they could easily refer you as well. So that's something that's really important, is how engaged faculty are with our students.
Wow.
We have small classrooms. The student to faculty ratio is 13 to 1. So
Wow.
you really get that personalized approach that you don't get everywhere else.
जो भी बच्चे यूएस स्टूडेंट वीज़ा इंटरव्यू की प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं ये उनके लिए है. I have a question regarding the student visa interview. How student can prepare for US student visa interview? Can you give me a 2 or 3 step or guideline how they can become a, uh, how they can prepare for US student visa interview?
Yeah, I think for preparing for the student visa interview, first you are very familiar with all the documents that you're going to be bringing to your interview, your I-20, your DS-160, your admissions documents, your financial documents. Having those documents organized and that you're able to speak to any of those documents is going to be really important. The second step is that you know the program very well that you're joining, the school and the program. So you need to know why you selected this school, why you did not select some of these
Some
other
other
schools.
yes.
So really taking ownership of your admissions process and being able to efficiently speak to it. You only have a short amount of time in the
Yes.
in the
Visa
interview
interview, yeah,
process.
yeah,
So
that's
you need to be able to speak to it quickly. And my last piece of advice is make a good first impression.
Okay.
Smile, wear colorful clothing, look like a student, and be confident that you've been active in this this process,
yeah.
and that you can answer any question that they have for you. Answer honestly, and you're going to have success in your visa interview.
Okay. And like LIU is a private institute or public institute?
Private university.
And what is the difference between private university and public university? Because in India, it's a lots of confusion between the private university and public university.
Yes.
Can you please enlighten us?
So there's not a difference in terms of quality. There's a difference in terms of that the public colleges are funded by the state,
yes.
or the federal government, and for the private universities, they are privately funded.
Okay. And when any company is hiring the students, do they consider the public versus private, and they will give preference to public university students rather than the private university students?
No, they don't give any preference to public versus private. They may give preference to the brand and the strength of the university. And for Long Island University, we have a great brand in New York City and beyond. Especially for a number of different majors that we have at LIU. It has a great brand, and it continues to grow because of all the success that our alumni are having.
Right. And give me a 3 top USP of Long Island University.
Top USPs for Long Island University are going to be the location, one of the most student-preferred cities in the world. Number 2 would be the research that we do. We have collaborations with Dassault Systems, Omnicell, top pharmaceutical companies, so we're doing incredible research in AI and drug development. Number 3, I would say, is the quality of our students, especially our international students. They have professional degrees in medicine, nursing, physical therapy, pharmacy. So they're bringing in their talents to the university. And I'll add one more, is that our faculty are incredible. They're so engaged with our students. In the research and in the way that they have their curriculums, and that the way that they advise students and care about students, the mentorship they provide, all of that is important. So I would add that as a USP.
Yes, I think there's a great piece of advice, and I think lots of information you have shared about the Long Island University. We are going to end this podcast. तो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग दिस पॉडकास्ट, और ऐसे बहुत सारी इंफॉर्मेशन के लिए सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलना. एंड वी हैव अ इंस्टाग्राम चैनल जहाँ पे जाके आप फॉलो कर सकते हो, और ऐसे इसकी छोटी छोटी क्लिप आपको मिल के आपको बहुत ही ज़्यादा इंफॉर्मेटिव इंफॉर्मेशन वहाँ पे मिल पाएगी. तो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग दिस podcast. Okay, now thank you, Mr. Freddy,
Thank you.
To giving amazing information about the Long Island University, and thanks once again.
Thank you.